First of all, we've talked this. I said this at my very first conversation at the start of the year at training camp. This is the year we're going to see evaluating and opportunities for guys. So we played a heavy schedule here lately. We're in a dense part. I think we're playing like almost 7 in the last 10. And we got a couple more back-to-back coming on the back end this week too. So we're just coming off a back-to-back. Thought this was an opportunity to get our guys to play and also crunch time minutes. And they did terrific. It was really good. This also shows you the synergy that we have between the Go-Go and the Wizards. A lot of these guys are playing with Cody and their staff. They're running the same exact things. So when I'm calling some of our end-of-game plays, they know them. And you can see that in the game, that there's confidence in what we're doing because of the work and the connection between the two teams. I was really pleased with the effort tonight. I was really impressed with how we finished out the game out execution on both ends of the floor.
I'm glad you brought up the Go-Go thing, because Will Riley, to Megan post-game, said that the chemistry that he built with a bunch of those guys on the Go-Go helped tonight.
Yeah.
How do you think that manifested itself, especially late?
You saw the pick and rolls of him and 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗡, him and Cherif, AJ. I thought those guys were terrific. Anthony Gill's defense down the stretch. I was really impressed with how we executed, and I was really pleased.
Sacramento made that run, especially late in the game. And in other situation, I know you just mentioned the schedule and you wanted to look at guys. Some coaches might have gone back to their starting unit. What does it say about the work these guys have put in that not only you want to look at them, but you had the faith in them to figure this out in real time?
Those guys played really well in the first half also. I think we can't forget about how well they played in the first half. They were the one who kind of built that lead up, and I wanted to see them under pressure. That's a good way for us to learn and then to grow. And then we talked about that opportunity. They need the opportunity. We need the opportunity to see them in those situations so they can improve. You're not going to get that all the time, and I thought those guys really grew a lot tonight.
I know with running similar sets between you and Cody is one thing, but also the level of talent between the NBA and the G League, depending on who you're matching up against, can also be different. But these guys seem to be able to rise to the occasion, even with two longtime vets in 𝗪𝗓𝗓 and 𝗫𝗏𝗏 trying to throw everything at them. What did you see from them, especially defensively, that they were managing what was going on, figuring out solutions, coverages in tight situations, but just navigating a team trying to get another win as well?
I thought I saw a lot of, Anthony Gill, you got to give him a lot of credit for being the veteran presence out there defensively. DeRozan and 𝗪𝗏𝗏 had it going, but we did it. We got stops down the stretch, and started with Anthony, his ball pressure, his, pushing him off his spots, making him take tough contests. But then those other guys, right spots, doing the right thing, in the right shelf spots, contesting, and then finishing it with rebounding. Very, very well done.
Coach, I've covered the Go-Go for the last couple of years and seen Cody Toppert's growth as a coach and just some of the themes. Last night at the game, he said the theme was empty the tank and give everything they had. They won last night, and I know that you mentioned that there's synergy. Is that kind of some of the themes that you've been picking back and forth with him as well, and you've been giving them the same thing with that synergy?
For sure. Cody's out there with us tonight. Cody's just another member of our staff. That's how I look at him. And then obviously he is coaching with the Go-Go and running their practice, running their games. I am constantly talking to him. He does a great job. He's a great coach. We're really lucky to have him. And that connection, like we just talked about, is really important. Terminology, schemes, offensive sets. And then obviously we're picking each other's brains, just like I do with the rest of my stuff, on how do we best help our team grow. The communication when a guy is assigned, they're working on the same things. The coaches, both staffs are connected. Their whole staff was there tonight with us. The whole Go-Go staff's here with us at these games. That stuff really carries a lot. So when they're in these pressure situations, they've actually done them because some of these guys are playing big minutes in these games. So 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗡 played in some of those minutes. Cherif played in the game last night and did that, right? Will Riley. So 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗪. So those things are huge for us. We're also in the same building. So really intentional about how we go about that, but Cody's been a terrific partner with this for sure.
And one more to even add to that, with some of the G League guys that you have, like Jameer, Cherif, and Will, how much growth have you seen them, even when their first couple times getting minutes with you guys, in comparison to early year to now? If you could elaborate on that.
Jameer and Will Riley have been in the rotation here for a long stretch. You see what they bring to the game. Jameer with his defensive presence, his poise on the offensive end. Will's growing defensively. You see his playmaking, his shot-making ability. Those guys are growing. They're going through the fire, and we want to see them in a situation where the real pressure was on at the end, and those guys came through.
Thank you, Coach.
Brian, aside from seeing the game slow down and getting minutes, where has Will Riley made improvements this season?
Yeah, I think, first of all, defensively, he's gotten better and better. Cutting people off, using his length. He's a tall guy. He's like 6'8", almost 6'9", learning that he can contest shots really well. And then the offensive stuff is just learning our system and how the NBA plays. I thought he did a terrific job tonight of making quick decisions, making reads. He's got a really unique game. Just has a really fast processing ability. And you've seen that out there tonight. He's got really, this can see spaces and angles, and then obviously you see his footwork and his pivoting. He's just getting more comfortable with all these things.
What was your rationale for not playing Justin Champagnie tonight?
Justin's been playing a lot of minutes for us. Just wanted to give some other guys some shots, some looks. He'll be back in here very soon.
And the starters and the regular rotation guys were clearly rooting for everyone who was playing in the fourth quarter. Having said that, do you worry that you lose any credibility in your locker room not playing the starters who've also earned their minutes down the stretches of games?
No worries at all. And those guys are the ultimate teammates, and we have a great locker room, so I've never would have one thought or concern of that.
Coach, can you go into how Chris has helped this team in particular since the big trade with CJ and Corey gone?
I think you can just go back to last year. I can just talk about the totality of what Chris has done. I think I said it pregame. Someone asked me about him, but his professionalism, how he works, how he trains, how he prepares, how he connects the team on the court, how he holds us to a high standard in everybody because of how he plays. Those things can never be measured how important they are. It's a big deal. Like I said, I think I said earlier, we're really grateful he's here with us.
Yeah, I mean, we've all played with each other in the go-go, and I feel like just any in-game reps with people that you play with help, and we saw the same faces, and it was a good opportunity for us.
How do you feel like you've grown since game one of the season to now being over halfway done with your rookie year?
Yeah, I feel like I've been getting more comfortable each game. I've just been trying to get 1% better every day, honestly. So I've just been, I feel like I've improved a little bit. Obviously, trying to make more strides, but I'm just trying to improve every day.
How would you describe the momentum swings of this game, the way you guys started, the middle quarters, and then how it finished?
Yeah, there was a lot of momentum change. Obviously, we started off really hot. Had a big lead there. One of their guys got a little hot, and it started to fluctuate. But I feel like we stayed level-headed, and nobody got down. Everybody was up, and I feel like it showed on the court. Everyone was playing free. Everyone was happy. So it was really good to see.
You've been around Sharife Cooper. Speaking of the go-go experience, how would you describe his game and what he's like as a teammate?
He's a great teammate. He's always trying to get me involved, trying to get everybody involved. Super crafty, really good off the court. He's makes sure to make a lot of connections with guys. He's a very funny guy as well. So he's a good human, which is really important. And yeah.
Will, tonight, obviously you've been getting extremely comfortable in your game, especially going back and forth between the go-go. Is there anything that came to your mind when you were with everybody from your go-go teammates that just said, oh, this is kind of an epiphany, like we've worked on this or we've been in this situation before? And can you elaborate for that?
Yeah, we've been in a lot of tight games on the go-go. I think I've played five or six games with the go-go. So we've been in like a few really tight games. So it kind of felt familiar, being out there. Just obviously on a bigger stage, but it felt familiar being with those guys and competing at that level. And yeah, it's something that we were used to, and we were able to come out with the win.
Will, I know you told us that you grew up a Raptors fan and went to a lot of Raptors games. Any significance playing against DeRozan?
Yeah, obviously Raptors legend DeRozan. Grew up a big Raptors fan, so it was pretty cool playing against him.
Hey, Will. You talked about trying to get 1% better every day, but embracing the NBA's physicality is a long process. How have you tried to weather that as you keep getting comfortable with your shot diet and just get to your spots?
Yeah, honestly, just dealing with the physicality, I feel, has a lot to do with like the weight room and my diet. So I feel like, obviously I'm not gonna make huge games in season, but I feel like, I've been trying and doing my best to, make gains in that realm. And it's a big off season for me, obviously, to gain a lot of weight and that type of stuff. But yeah, just when it comes to, the skill aspect of it, I feel like, just getting to my spots, creating the shots that I know I'm comfortable with, I feel like I've been getting better at that. And, I continue to strive to, be the best at that.
Thank you.
Are those the next steps for you in season, getting an increased feel for where you can get your shots and where you can get good shots?
Yeah, I feel like, for me, just figuring out, the best shots for me, best, situations for me, I feel like that's very important. So just, working on certain things like that, I feel like are going to be very important for me. Just repping the same action over and over and over again until it gets old, honestly. So I feel like that would be good for me.
Will, can you share any advice that vets like AG or Chris have given you that have like helped your game recently?
Yeah, honestly, routine and the way you carry yourself. I feel like Chris has a very good routine. He comes here very early, and he's done the same routine throughout his whole career. So I feel like building a routine and character from AG, he's instilled a lot of great character into me, and how you treat people, how you talk to people. I feel like that's a very important person to have in my life.
No, they definitely paid off, I feel like. I think those reps are just very important, just learning the little things and just going out there and just hooping, honestly. I just feel like just helps. So, yeah, the go-go reps definitely been helping a lot.
Has Cody given you any, like, tips or advice, especially this stretch of games?
Yeah, for sure. Just tell me to keep it simple, just trust my instincts, go out there and play honestly. But, yeah, Cody, the whole coaching staff from G League to the main team, I feel like they all just do a great job of just helping the development side, even if you're, like, not in rotation, just still, like, being there.
Hey, AJ. I want to ask about 𝗙𝗢𝗖𝗓 because you've been alongside him for most of the season.
Yeah.
He's flipped between the G League himself. How have you observed his adaptation to the NBA's physicality and finding his own shot diet?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I feel like he's like a quick learner, honestly, and just seeing how like his length and stuff like that, how he can affect the defensive end. I feel like it just adds more to like the offensive end, like him being able to make shots in the stretch and stuff like that, defend, rebound, crash. But I feel like his growth has been pretty crazy.
Got it. And Coach Keefe also talked about the similar values that the G League has to the NBA squad. How you guys emphasize the same things.
Yeah, no, we definitely. I feel like it's like the same like kind of things. Definitely teaching us like when we're down to G, like they kind of tell us like it's like the same type of assignment, like they expect the same standard from us when we go down there to like when we come up here. So it helps it a lot.
Hi, AJ. On that note, what was it like in the fourth quarter? Obviously, Anthony Gill hasn't spent time with the Go-Go, but everyone else on the court has probably played fairly extensively.
Yeah, no, I mean, it felt great, honestly. Anytime I get a chance to be on the court and just go out there and play, I'm just loving every minute of it, just trying to just soak it up and just go out there and compete, honestly. But, no, it felt great, for sure.
And what have you learned about Sharife Cooper, spending time around him, not only with the Go-Go, but also the Wizards?
No, definitely a smart IQ player, for sure, very skilled. Him being able to get that offensive rebound, see where the ball was going, super clutch after making a great pass to me in the corner. But, no, yeah, for sure.
Will, I wanted to ask you about 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗢𝗪. It's hard to get a 10-day contract and be productive in the NBA,
definitely.
but he's done that. So, and all my interactions with him, he's smiling, down to earth, loves life.
Sure.
What have you noticed about him off the court, and also how he's been able to be productive on the court?
Yeah, no, definitely a great guy off the court, super supportive, just there for his teammates, and even off the court too. I mean, even on the court as well, like him being able to just communicate and stuff like that to us, telling us, he's not spending too much time up the top, but just any way he can just help, just talk to us, and he's communicating a lot, so it's been good.
For you personally, how do you feel like you've progressed this year, specifically on offense, getting past your first defender at the point of attack?
Yeah, no, definitely. I just feel like just the reads, even just slowing it up, like knowing that I can get by my first man, but just knowing like it's going to be like a read that I got to make. It might not be a layup every time for myself, but just if I can get in there and just make a kick out for my teammates or something, make a play for my teammates, that's what I'm looking forward to doing too.
Bijan took my question. But where do you think you've made some of the biggest strides since the end of last season?
I would probably say just like definitely catch and shoot. I'm trying to like implement that to be like a main thing. I feel like guys know I'm gonna kind of get to the rim, so I feel like the catch and shoot I've been working on a lot, and just really just the understanding of the game. Just watching a lot more film now. Just trying to really learn how to dissect the defense and stuff like that. Just learn new things. Honestly, just how to master the game. At the mental level. But yeah, just working on that.
AJ, what was it like not only to win the this game at the end of the game with the G League guys, but against guys like DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, who are established vets in this league?
No, it definitely feels it feels good just going out there playing against great players and just going out there and competing. Definitely just a great blessing for sure.